Stop her. The maid has finally shown her true colors. She just attacked the king and spilled his royal meal.
In the heart of the golden savannah sat the kingdom of Oru. It was a place of loud drums, bright clothes, and a king named Alakri. King Alakri was a very grumpy man. He shouted at his guards, he ignored his advisors, and he never smiled. That was until Zara arrived. Zara was a housemaid. She was also mute. She could not speak a single word. While the other servants whispered and gossiped, Zara worked in silence. She cooked in a small clay pot kitchen, mixing palm oil, fresh peppers, and secret herbs. When the king ate Zara's soup, something strange happened. His face relaxed. He stopped shouting. Soon, the king began to spend more time in the kitchen than in the throne room. He even learned Zara's sign language. The high chiefs were angry. Why does the king listen to the hands of a maid instead of the voices of his men? They grumbled. But no one was angrier than Queen Lolo, the king's first wife. She loved power. She wore the heaviest gold beads and the tallest head wraps. Yee! That girl is a witch, Lolo hissed to her mirrors. She is using a spell to control my husband. The queen decided to destroy Zara. One afternoon, as Zara walked into the dining hall carrying a heavy bowl of pepper soup, Queen Lolo stuck out her foot. Crash! The bowl shattered. Red soup splashed everywhere, all over the king's expensive white robes. You clumsy fool, the queen screamed. Look what you have done to the king. Guards, whip her. Zara shook with fear. But the king did not get angry. He stood up, wiped the soup from his chest, and looked at the queen. It was only soup, Lolo, he said calmly. He reached out and helped Zara stand up. The queen's eyes burned with hate. Her first plan had failed. A week later, the palace was in an uproar. The king's golden crown, the symbol of the ancestors, was missing. Search every room, the queen ordered. She led the guard straight to the small hut where the servants slept. She pointed at Zara's straw mat. Look there! The guards lifted the mat, and there it was. The golden crown sparkled in the sunlight. Thief, the queen cried. Zara stole the crown. In this kingdom, the punishment for stealing from the king is to be sent away into the dark forest forever. Zara fell to her knees. She moved her hands wildly, trying to explain that she was innocent. The king walked into the room. He looked at the crown, then at Zara's crying eyes. Zara, the king said softly, did you take this? Zara shook her head no firmly. The king turned to the guards. The crown is found. That is all that matters. Perhaps the crown grew legs and walked here. Zara, go back to the kitchen. The queen gasped. The king was protecting a maid over the law? She knew she had to do something permanent. That night, the queen took a small glass bottle from under her bed. It contained a dark, bitter liquid. If he will not punish her, I will make him hate her, she whispered. She sneaked into the kitchen while Zara was fetching water. Zara's famous fish stew was simmering over the fire. The queen poured the entire bottle of poison into the pot. One taste of this and the king will fall ill, the queen planned. I will tell everyone Zara poisoned him because she was caught stealing. A few minutes later, the king sat down to eat. Zara served the bowl, but as she set it down, she noticed something. The smell was different. It didn't smell like her fresh herbs, it smelled like bitter almonds and death. As the king lifted his spoon, Zara rushed forward. She knocked the spoon out of his hand. She is attacking the king, Queen Lolo shouted, stepping out from behind a curtain. She tried to poison you and now she is being violent. Guards, take her to the dungeon. The king looked at the spilled stew on the floor. He looked at the queen, who was smiling triumphantly. Then he did something unexpected. He began to laugh. It wasn't a happy laugh. It was a cold, tired laugh. Lolo, the king said, do you think I am a fool? The queen stopped smiling. My king, she tried to kill you. No, the king said, standing up. For 10 years, you have been putting love potions in my food. You wanted to control my mind, to make me agree with everything you said. But your potions made me grumpy. They made my head hurt. They made me hate everyone. The queen turned pale. I don't know what you mean. I knew about the potions all along, the king continued. I stopped eating your food months ago. I only eat what Zara cooks. Do you want to know why? Not because she's a great cook, but because she's the only person in this palace who doesn't want anything from me. Her food is the only thing that is clean. The king looked at the poisoned stew on the floor. And I know you put the poison in here, Lolo, because Zara was with me in the garden when this pot was boiling. The king ordered the guards to take Queen Lolo away to her father's village. She was stripped of her gold and her titles. As for Zara, she didn't become the new queen. She didn't want to be. Instead, the king made her the royal advisor. From that day on, the high chiefs had to learn sign language. If they wanted the king to agree to a new law, they had to explain it to Zara first. If she signaled a thumbs up, the king signed the law. The housemaid who couldn't speak became the most powerful voice in the kingdom, proving that a clean heart is louder than any tongue.